Tonight, local families are cleaning up after a nasty round of thunderstorms. I'm Christina Orangio.
And I'm Dain Weister. Take a look at the funnel cloud that came down from the sky over central Florida tonight. It happened just around 6 o'clock. You can see the twister snake its way toward the ground, and then it starts to thin out. And eventually, it disappears. Tonight, firefighters are battling several brush fires started by lightning from all these storms. There are 4 fires in the area near the Beeline and 417 in Orange County. The Division of Forestry has several units on the scene trying to keep the fires from getting out of control. Well, it looks like we're in that summertime pattern. We're going to get these storms popping up every afternoon.
We had a dose of those storms today. Let's check in with
a local lake may be to blame for making at least 4 people sick. The 4 recently developed rashes after boating in Lake Cannon in Winter Haven. One person had to go to the hospital. The water looks a lot clearer now than it did last month. Polk County officials say that's when freshwater toxic algae in the lake bloomed and it floated to the surface. The algae can cause symptoms, including vomiting and nerve damage. We were a little. Ben Atkins' family went back to the lake today after seeing the condition of the water. State health experts say there's never been a documented case of toxic algae in Florida before. The official media of Nepal now claim the shooting deaths of 8 members of the royal family was an accident. Prince Gyanendra says the shootings were the result of accidental automatic weapon fire. Nepal's king and queen and 6 members of their family were all killed. Originally, it was reported that the crown prince shot his family and himself over a dispute about his wedding. The crown prince, who is technically the king, is on life support.
He was 86.
Now, tonight, someone in Florida is $15 million richer. More details on that winning lotto ticket coming up. Plus, it's not all politics at the White House. Once in a while, there's time for a little play. Well, before he takes off for Florida tomorrow, the president got more T-ball in at the White House. The Betting Park Patriots took on the Fort Lincoln Brewers in the backyard of the executive mansion. There they are, swinging away. It was week 2 of the president's T-ball initiative. The players, of course, are 4 to 8 years old. They also got a tour of their host's house and even got the president to autograph some baseballs. Isn't that great? The big sports story, though, is basketball.
That's right. Sports Night on 9 is just minutes away.
Detectives don't want to say exactly where these surveillance pictures came from, but it was a store not very far from this complex here where Deborah Cullen was killed. She's the mother of 3 daughters, and detectives want you to examine these pictures and imagine if this was your mother. Look at these surveillance pictures. Bread, chips, and candy. These 2 men bought more than $100 in junk food and gas using 46-year-old Deborah Cullen's credit card. Orlando detectives can't believe this was worth shooting a mother of 3 to death in cold blood.
It's very upsetting. Human life is worth much more than that. They're out there. They're like predators.
Detectives don't know their identities, and they're pleading with the public to look at every angle of these 2, hoping a $5,000 reward or someone with a heart can be convinced to identify them. One was in this car on the left side of the screen. It's a blue Grand Marquis or Crown Victoria. The other was in a silver Nissan Sentra.
Please, please stand up and say something. Please. We miss her and love her.
That was the heartbreaking, tearful plea from Cullen's 3 daughters Wednesday. Tuesday night, their mother was coming home from a hard day of work at a Florida Mall jewelry store. She had just gotten off a Lynx bus and was walking home for a glass of wine and a little TV to unwind. But a thief with a gun attacked her. Detectives say she may have tried to fight back. Still, her daughters really wonder what kind of monster could take an innocent woman's life so easily.
I don't see how somebody could come up and shoot a mother. Somebody randomly you don't even know. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I hope you rot in hell.
It was the same night her credit card was used when Deborah Cullen was killed. Remember that a $5,000 reward is being offered for any information. Live near Metro West, Dain Weister, Action News at 10.
Let's take you to Dain Weister. He's at our CNN affiliate WFTV with a look at how it's looking there. Hey, Dain, what's it look like where you are?
Well, you know what? It's a world of difference where we're at here compared to Pensacola Beach, which is that way. We're at an evacuation hotel here about 10 miles north of the Barrier Islands because we know this is going to be likely the strongest hurricane to ever hit the Gulf Coast of Florida. We'll show you some of the conditions up here with the trees bending, just some of the gusts that are starting in here, and we're starting to get a steady rain. But out on the coast, the major effects of Dennis are starting to punch the shore.
There goes another one.
Dennis is taking his first round of punches at Pensacola Beach. The palm fronds are being whipped, signs, traffic lights are all being swayed with ease. And yes, it's just the start. Hard to believe, but at the same time, Kenny McCoy just started to board up his business and still needs some finishing touches at home. He knows he waited to the last minute.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but, you know, that way it's tough to get in and out of the building. It's about the only way to get in and out.
The way Dennis is ripping, he may not have a business to get in and out of anymore. At this Krispy Kreme, they're willing to sacrifice the trucks for it, hoping this is enough barrier to save the real moneymaker. People just can't believe this will be the strongest they've seen, even more than last year's Ivan.
Didn't sound good. Well, Ivan was pretty nasty.
And here on Pensacola Beach, 7 hours before the eye makes landfall, we're getting pretty hefty wind gusts. Look at this one, the strongest one, already up to 50 miles an hour. And the storm surge is on the rise. Boats are already having a tough time of it. Look at this former bridge, now a fishing pier. Ivan washed these chunks away, and Dennis's surge is expected to be worse. Families here can only pray this now, that Dennis won't be a menace.
All you can do is get as ready as you can.
But it's not being overly dramatic to say that it will be menacing, because with the Category 4 hurricane, as we heard from the Hurricane Center, we still are expecting extensive damage in this area. Right here is Interstate 10 you're looking at through Pensacola. Even a bridge that goes over Escambia Bay has been shut down in that area because during Ivan it was washed out. That's the latest from here. Back to you.
All right, Dain, thanks. I think it's fair to say, even at this point, that Dennis is going to be a menace. That's for sure if we listen to the folks at the National Hurricane Center.
Concerned what may be underground, a state inspector checked to make sure only gasoline was in a gas station tank. But what was suspected was confirmed.
It's 5 3/8.
So that's all water?
That's all water.
That shows you water?
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
That's bad.
Oh, I know it came from that pump.
College student 22-year-old Johanna Brown wishes she didn't know firsthand. Tuesday, after all the tropical storm rain, Johanna pulled her Chrysler 300 into Highway Mart here on West Church Street and Paramore Road to fill up. Nearly empty, she pumped premium gas, which she prefers. After stopping 2 blocks down the road, the car never started again. It had to be towed, and she had to get a ride home. When the mechanic found water in her gas tank, we investigated, and the state called out an inspector.
No, I've been screaming that all day. How in the world could this happen to me? I have 9 days to graduate, school, work. Oh my gosh.
The final inspection was right at the pump. Sure enough, the premium tank, the 93 octane, was full of water. Earlier, when we asked the station owner,
when I checked, I didn't find any water there.
None at all, none in the 93?
No.
And you can clearly see the difference right here at the pump. This is the 87 octane. This is the mid-grade. And look at the difference, how the water makes it murky.
Probably a tank problem, the way the lids are on the tank.
All the premium pumps were shut down until the water can be flushed out. Now Johanna just wants the gas station to take care of any damage, but more importantly, she just wants her car back.
This is something that should not have to happen to anybody. It's a problem that needs to be fixed.